The front of this vehicle has a very interesting grille here. For one thing, we have the Lincoln badge with a blue background here, and then there's a lot of empty space where air can just flow through there, but it does have the active grille shutters back in there as well. Now it has this three-dimensional effect. Now this bottom part down in here is just enclosed and blocked off, which is really not fun to clean the bugs and stuff out of. Then you have the chrome on the outside, complete chrome frame. The radar adaptive cruise control is down here, a little sensor right here in the center. And then we have some gloss black little strips there, parking sensors across the front, and one there on the side as well. The headlights are really nice. You gotta check out my night video. So it's a multi-projector LED system. LED turn signals, daytime running lights, everything. Take a look at the side of the vehicle. I really like those wheels, especially with the rest of the vehicle. It has the chrome outlining on the side glass, privacy glass there in the back, and it has body colored handles. And the upper portion of the side mirror is hard to tell, but it is a gloss black. So it kind of blends in from a distance, but you can see it's a gloss black here. Then you have the Corsair name there on the side in blue. This is what the key looks like, and it's a fairly traditional Ford type key. And it has the lock, unlock, remote start, the ability to open up the power lift gate, and a panic button. There's also a physical key on the inside. Now the key's kind of bulky and kind of heavy, so it's, you know, it's not my favorite key in the world, but it does the job. Now the way it works is it has the lock right here and the unlock right here. And you could actually lock and unlock the vehicle when it's running. So there's also a physical key location here on the driver's side only. The inside is like a tan and a brown with black accents. Looking pretty good. Feels pretty good. It's a soft touch. They also have the controls for the seats here on the door, which is kind of interesting. It also has a lumbar adjustment there and a massage function as well. Door lock controls and the power windows are here around the piano black plastic. This is enclosed, so you can utilize that as a pocket, and then you have the larger pocket there at the bottom. Has illuminated sill plate here on the threshold, and these are full power seats here on the passenger side. You can adjust the bolsters separately. These are heated and ventilated seats as well. You can adjust everything. These seats have a lot of adjustments. Some of the adjustments are on the screen as well. There's the leg room there. Now this right here is a hard touch surface, lockable glove compartment, felt lining. This is all soft touch. There's some ambient light. I'll show this in a night video here. Soft touch dash. Huge sunroof. Inside of the back door, it's pretty cool. You can actually see a little bit of red light right there. I have the ambient light set to blue, but when you open the door, it turns red. So that way you know the door's open, I guess, if it's not all the way shut. So we have the hard touch surfaces here, soft here, a little bit slightly different styling here in the back, but has the pockets in the same place and stuff. And pretty decent amount of room getting in and out of the back seat. Has the latch system for car seats. They're easy to see, just right there exposed. Easy to get to as well. We do have the armrest with some cup holders, and this is nice and soft. Softer than the front armrest. Plenty of leg room here. We have net pockets on the back of the seats, and the seats are soft touch back here, the back of them. There's also heated seats back here, 2-stage heated seats, climate control vents, and then you have USB ports there at the bottom. And they are all 4 USB-C ports. So yeah, pretty good amount of room back here, depending on how far back you have the seats, but look at the size of that sunroof, it's huge. So here's the cargo area. This is a hard touch surface here. It has a place for a shade to snap in place here on the back window, which is nice. Here's the cargo area. If you have all the seats occupied with passengers, this is what you get. It's flat floor, 12-volt power supply, subwoofer here on the left side, a single light here on the right side, and a little storage cubby there. There's also buttons to lower, just basically releases and flops down these seats. We'll look at that in a second. This is the charge cable, and it's basically the typical Ford 32 amp charge cable that they include with a lot of vehicles, and it's huge, and they would give you this little tiny bag to stuff it in. So needless to say, it takes a little bit of effort to squeeze it in there, so we'll just leave that off to the side for now. There is a full diameter spare tire and tools under here as well. A little bit of extra space as well here. But let's go ahead and see if these seats will lower. So we'll go ahead and press that button. Yeah, that one flopped down. And that one got stuck on the front seat. But yeah, you can fold these seats down, add to your cargo space, and pretty good amount of space back here when you fold the seats down. Lowering the power lift gate, you just press this button, and you got to watch out. It immediately comes down, and when it gets to a certain point, it just kind of slams. There is a locking fuel door, and it's here on the driver's side, and it has no cap, so you don't have to worry about taking a cap out. Also here on the driver's side is the charge port. So the charge port's right here, and it's not locking, but it does have this illuminated place right here, which looks really nice. It illuminates the area nicely while you're plugging it in. It also serves to show you this charge level, so it'll pulse while it is charging, and it gives you an estimate on how much charging you've done and how much is left. Now, it's a good thing it has that, because when you open the door, it doesn't give you any kind of notifications or anything here on the screen. So as you plug it in, it just has some stars flying around, and there's no actual, you can't really tell. You just have to guesstimate by those lights. I'm sitting in the driver's seat, and I have the driver's seat all the way back and all the way down, and I'm 6 feet tall, and it's a little bit further back than what I would normally drive at. There's plenty of knee room on both sides. There's plenty of leg room, and yeah, overall, as far as my leg room here in the front is good. This particular seat isn't comfortable for me, even though it has a lot of motion and a lot of adjustments here on the door. It just, I don't know, there's just not, I can't get it right for me. Hopefully it'll be better for you. So the steering wheel is really nice. It's a heated steering wheel, and it's comfortable. It's soft. It's not overly soft, but it's very soft and comfortable and looks nice. It does have paddle shifters here on the back. There's buttons here on the front and on the back right here. So you have your volume for the radio here on the left side, change to the tracks left and right. Once you turn on the cruise control, then these buttons will illuminate. So when you turn it off, they go away. When you turn it on, they illuminate, and they're actuated by the back. So the buttons on the back here is what you press. Same thing here on the right side, cancel. So it's the resume. You have set, change the speeds, resume. You have cancel here, and then set the distance between you and the vehicle in front of you. So yeah, that's once you turn it on. And I like this button because you press the button, and it not only turns on the cruise control, but sets it immediately. So it's just one press, and it's already on, and then you can adjust it if you need to. So yeah, I like that. Here on the right side, this button right here corresponds with the screen. We'll get to that in a minute. But this side right here, when we press a particular button, it changes whatever's here. So let's say we go up. When we press up, you notice all the other stuff just goes away, and now we have a back and OK. And we do adjustments, or basically make selections here on the screen. So go back. So the top is navigation. Go back, and then we have left, which is your audio. Make selections there. Going down will take us into our settings here, and then to the right will be our phone. So you see things kind of change a little bit depending on what screen you're in. And it's always this little joystick knob. It's not these, but these are not buttons on the outside. Now this is a button right here, and when we press that, it cycles through some information there on the right of the screen. And we can have different, whatever information we want there on the side of the screen. Okay, so windshield wiper controls are here. Turn signals here. But also, here and also there's a voice recognition button kind of right in this area. It's kind of neat. But also, with the turn signal on the end here, this button is to turn on the lane keep assist system. And then, of course, it has the high and low beams, and it has automatic high beams, which you turn on and off in the screen. Over the screen over here in the settings. So yeah, there's your, this is basically a screen, but it's also the gauges. And they have, it's like a full digital screen, but most everything kind of stays in the same spot. So that I don't think they're really taking full advantage of this digital screen. It does look nice and, you know, easy to read and all that stuff. So we have the odometer down there, engine coolant temperature, and then this is the status of the adaptive cruise control and the lane keep assist. Well, so as you're driving, you'll see information here kind of change. Of course, you have a digital speedometer in the center, but you also have this kind of needle that goes up, representing like a gauge, but it doesn't really give you additional information. To see, it's just a blank circle there. So you see a needle move, but it doesn't really help a whole lot. Basically, what you're looking at here is just this digital speedometer. It shows you what gear you're in. Over here is the information that you chose, and then over here is the distance you can drive on gas or electric. So right now it has 9 miles of electric range, 181 miles of gas range. So you would add those together to get your total range. And of course you can change the information there on the right side. Now when you go into the drive modes, this switch right here, we go there and we change it, you can see it has this information here. So to some degree, this is where you get the benefit of having a screen here, is where you can have different things kind of pop up. But you notice it doesn't really change anything. I mean, it looks the same when you change drive modes. Now Excite is definitely more exciting to drive. It's definitely more powerful experience and fun and everything. You can conserve the EV range. So if I want to keep that EV range, I can just put on conserve. Excite will actually increase your EV range a little bit and give you the full power of the vehicle. It's pretty interesting. But normal driving is fine. All right, so this screen over here is kind of interesting because it has this home button, and you kind of have to go through the home button sometimes in order to go to different screens. So we have this information here at the bottom. This is more for your climate control. So you have your heated seats pop up here, three-stage heated and vented seats. We'll go ahead and turn that off now. There we go. So it's the heated and cooled seats, 3-stage. You use the same button to operate both. And then you adjust your temperature for the driver, temperature for the passenger, heated steering wheel, fan speed, and also has an automatic function which you can adjust low, medium, and high. Automatic, where you want the air to blow, front and rear defrosters. Basically, pretty basic climate control features. Now, there's one disconnected climate control feature, and that's the this button right here for the front climate, the front defroster right there. So you have it here, and you also have it down here for some reason. Okay, so this home screen, you have navigation, you have the Bluetooth or whatever your audio source is, and then this will be your phone, settings, features, and apps. So here on the home screen is where you find most everything. Let's look at the navigation map. Looks pretty good. You can also expand it and fill in the whole screen like so. And it looks good at night too as well. All right, like I mentioned, we have to go through the home screen in order to get to the next feature sometimes. We'll go to the features of the vehicle. It has driver assist, departure and comfort. These are basically settings. You can keep an eye on the power flow, which is pretty cool. You can see where the power is coming from. are going to. So the battery, the engine, the wheels, all that stuff, and it'll kind of show where the energy is coming from and going to. Now we have a back button. You don't always have this back button. See, right now we don't have it. We have to go through the home screen in order to get to the next thing. So let's go to settings here. There's the different settings that we can go into, and of course there's many sub menus in this. Once again, we have to hit the home button to go back here. Apps are here, and we have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto capabilities, wirelessly, and once again we can see the power flow. I have another shortcut for that. So that's kind of the basic rundown of the screen here and how it's used, and it's useful. Now one of the best things about this big screen and the high clarity and everything is the camera system. So let's go ahead and press this button, pop up the camera system, and not only does it give you a front or rear view, it also gives you the top-down view. Unfortunately, I'm sitting in a parking lot that the lines are completely faded. So let's go ahead and put it in reverse. So we can see the active guidelines, and then we can see as I move the vehicle, we can see this direction, very clear, sharp, high resolution, high clarity, but also same thing here, top down. So we can see top down. Now let's go ahead and put it in drive, and then push the camera button. So now you can see the front. Now if we press this button right here, we can get more information. So like if we want to focus on the front left wheel, we can hit that and we can kind of zoom in on that area. And we can go around, depending on what we want to focus on, we can zoom in to different areas like so. We can also, with that back button right there, it shows more behind the vehicle, front, more on the front. So kind of gives you a little bit more information there. A lot of times you won't have time to really play around with it while you're trying to park or whatever. But some of these features are handy just in case. Now you do have this button right here that you can push, and we can make selections. So if we just want to see the front without the top down, we could do that. If we want to see the front super wide, we can have that as well. If we want to see the back, even though we're not in reverse now, we can do that. And turn that back on, because that's the most handy screen, top down and then whatever direction you're going. So in this case, forward. And you can see the little bit of the front bumper, so you can get an idea of right where you are in relationship to other things. So yeah, the camera system is really good. All right, and while we're at it, let's go ahead and look at the shifter. So it's basically a series of push buttons. So there's park, there's reverse, there's neutral, and then there's drive. And go back and park. Now the camera system will automatically pop up if the parking sensors sense something. So if the parking sensors are on and they sense something and it beeps at you like you're getting close to something, it'll automatically pop up the camera system, which is good. Or if you just put it in reverse, it'll pop it up as well. I wish it had it to where when you go slow, really slow, it'll just automatically pop up like Toyota has, but it doesn't have that feature. Okay, so there's the volume for the radio. And then we saw the button there for the camera system. This is for the parking feature. So we press that, and we can have the parking assistance. And when we do that, we select parallel or perpendicular parking, put the turn signal on in the direction that we need to go. It'll start looking for a parking space, and once it finds that parking space, it will kind of guide us and actually turn the steering wheel and all that stuff and tell me what gear to put it in and all that stuff in order to park the vehicle. So it's kind of like one of those driving aids, I guess. And then we have the four-way flashers. This is to what Ford is calling, or Lincoln is calling, a comm screen. When we hit that, It just has this screen. So there's none of that stuff on the screen. But we do have the ability to go back to it just by tapping the screen or pressing this button. This is the traction control will be off when you press this button. Default is on, but if you press that, it'll be off. And then the front defroster there as well. That's that little bit of a redundancy there. Now you notice there's a little bit of blue light right in there. It's actually projecting from the top. I showed this in a night video. So showing the Lincoln emblem kind of right there on this black surface. And I'm not really sure what this surface is for, because when you pull this back, it goes underneath it. And then this is open. So they have this little shelf right here and have that open space there. This is slippery surface. So not sure what you would use that for. Maybe a small bag or something maybe. And then there's this compartment here. It has a wireless charger, USB ports as well, felt lining. And this is rubberized here, so when you put your phone in there, it's going to charge it and keep it pretty much still. And then, of course, if you need to plug it in, you could do that. Cup holders are illuminated and have these little articulating arms, little springy arms. Do a pretty good job. Has a little rubber floor, and these little floors can be removed and cleaned and put back in. There's your drive mode, electronic parking brake. Lift it up to engage it. Hold the brake, push it down to release it, and engages the rear wheels. Just a little place to put some change, I guess, right there. Just a little storage area. The key's definitely too big to fit in that little area. Okay, so there's nothing here, but this armrest is nice and soft here at the top. It's kind of rubbery, so it's soft, and then it gets real hard, the rubbery surface, but it doesn't bottom out. So it's soft enough, no problem there. Now this lifts up, there's a button, press that, and it lifts up, and it kind of falls back down, but it has a little bit of spring to it, so it doesn't slam back down. There's a felt-lined little removable quick access tray here, so we can take that out of the way if we need to. And then there's a complete felt-lined pocket. And there's a 12-volt power supply in there. It's kind of interesting that they have that there. And there's a little storage place right here. And I have my business cards in there to show you the bottom, because it's hard to tell the depth with nothing in it. It's just felt, so black felt. So that's the bottom there. And it does have a light, which is nice. Has an auto dim rear view mirror. There's also individual lights. You just tap on the lens and it turns on the light. You can turn on all the interior lights, and then you can have them turn on with the door or not with that button. So this is for the shade for the sunroof. This is the actual tilt and move the sunroof here, and a place to put your sunglasses. And it has like a vinyl type material there on the inside. It's soft. HomeLink garage door opener controls are here. A little clip. The visor is a cloth that matches the headliner here. There's another clip here, and then a vanity mirror with lights. Now the sunroof is quite big. It's a panoramic sunroof. I'm not going to open it though, because it's like just got done raining, but it lifts up just slightly and then it moves back. Yeah, let's go ahead and move it back, because we kind of need to see how far back it goes. Hopefully it won't bring in too much water. All right, that's as far back as it goes, I think. No, it goes a little tiny bit further back. So you can see it's a large opening, but it doesn't go all the way back. Still raining a little bit, so let me move it forward. And then tilting it just goes up a little bit. And then the shade actually covers 100% of the light, and it's a huge shade. Press it again to make it go forward some more. All right, so looking at the visibility in the back, it has pretty good visibility. There's some windows back there, and the headrests kind of line up with the pillars, so you can actually see pretty good back there. Haven't had any problems with it, especially considering it has the blind spot detection system or cross traffic alert, parking sensors, really good camera system, all that stuff to help out with driving the vehicle safely.